Hello, grade 12 learners. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This is 2023 Prelim examination of Business Studies Paper 1 that was written in 2023 in Gauteng province. Remember, when we go to the prelim or trial, it's provincial. People who are in Limpopo, they are going to write the same paper. People who are in Gauteng, they are going to write the same paper. People who are in Eastern Cape, KZN, and so forth and so on. That's how are they going to write their papers. So each and every province will have its own paper. So this was written in 2022 in Gauteng Business Studies. So as you are looking at that paper, it was 2 hours paper out of 150 that consists of 10 pages. So it does not mean that since you are in the KZN, Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Free State, Northwest, and so forth and so on, it does not mean that you should not watch this video, because they can take this paper the way it is and take it to where Northern Cape or Cape Town and so forth and so on. I'm sure you are understanding. So without wasting that much time, let us go to question 1. As it says, question 1, it's what? It's compulsory, which is sections A. It says various options are provided as possible answers to the following questions. Choose the correct answer and write only the letter A, D next to the question number. 1.1.1 to 1.1.5 in the answer book, e.g. 1.1.6 is equals to what? D. So we have to read here and then we have to find the answers. So this is how it is. Sam is entitled to 6 weeks of paid leave over a period of 36 months according to the Basic Condition of Employment Act, which is BCEA 1997, Act 75 of 1977. So we have to know what is the answer. It's either is A, B, C, D, which is annual maternity, sick, family responsibilities. We have to choose one. So we have to know what is our answer. I hope you are trying to guess there on your own. So our answer is going to be number C, which is the sick leave. Sam is entitled to 6 weeks of paid sick leave over a period of 36 months according to the Basic Condition of Employment Act, BCEA 1997, Act 75 of 1997. So remember, when we talk about the sick leave, we are talking about what? Whereby now they can give you 6 days being paid, staying at home. That's what they are talking about. Let's move to 1.1.2. It says the employees of trading render effective customers service. This is an example of an in the SWOT analysis. We have to know. Let us repeat the question. I want you to understand it and try to answer on your own before I give you the answer. It says the employees of trading render effective customer services. This is an example of in the SWOT analysis. What is an example of this one if they render the best service? Our answer is going to be what? Number A. That's their strength. Our answer is going to be what? Number A, which is what? The strength. We move forward. Thomas Paints operate in the sector as they specialize in the manufacturing of paint. We have to remember these ones, they do what? They manufacture. When they manufacture, that means now these ones, they manufacture. So we have to know where do they fall under. Let me repeat the question before giving you the answer. It says, Thomas Paints operate in the sector as they specialize in the manufacturing of paint. So we have to know what is our answer. Our answer is going to be number C, which is secondary manufacturing. That's number C, which is what? Secondary. Remember, at primary is the raw materials. At secondary, they do what? They manufacture. And then in tertiary, that's where they deal about supplying or delivering, transportation, something that has to do with the logistic. And then we move forward to 1.1.4. This benefit is compulsory by the law for employees. We have to know what is a benefit that is compulsory, which is required by the law. Our answer is going to be what? Number B, unemployment insurance fund, which is UIF. It's compulsory. It's required by what? The law. And then we move forward to the next question. 1.1.5, it says the business function is responsible for promoting the image of the business. So we have to know what is it that is responsible of promoting the image of the business. It's going to be what? Number D, which is public relations. Public relations, it's responsible of doing what? Of promoting the image of the business. That's how you should be answering your answers in your final examination. That's how you will be giving your answers or answering your questions, which is now already we have 10 marks. And then we move to the second one. We move to 1.2. It says complete the following statement by using the words provided in the list below. Write only the words next to the question number 1.2.1 to 1.2.5 in the answer book. So as you are looking at your question paper right now, you can see that we have a word that we need to quote from. So which is now the compulsory answers. I mean the compulsory question, it simply shows that our answers we are given here on the question paper. As we can see there, we have purchasing, we have induction, National Credit Act, internally, internship, production, training, Consumer Protection Act, learnership, and externally. So we have to choose, we have to fill in the missing words. 1.2.1, it says the forces businesses to disclose more information about their product and processes. We have to know what is it that is forcing businesses to disclose their product. Our answer is going to be what? Consumer Protection Act. Remember, these ones, they are forcing what? The businesses to disclose more information about their products and processes, which is now, this is what? Consumer Protection Act. They want to make sure that what they are selling is not going to have a bad impact to people. And then we move forward to 1.2.2. It says practical training opportunities that can lead to a recognized occupational qualification is known as So you have to quote from there. What is your answer? Our answer is going to be learnership. Remember, learnership, it leads to what? A recognized qualification in our country. And then we move forward. And then 1.2.3, it says, lazy construction used the recruitment method because existing employees already understand how the business operates. So we have to know, is it, this one is easy, is it internally or externally? Our answer is going to be what? Internally, because now the employees already know how does the business operates. And then we move forward to 1.2.4. It says the manager ensures that there are no stoppage due to stock shortage. So we have to know the manager. We have to know that is what is the purchasing manager. It has to make sure that And then now we move to the last one. It says an effective program allows employees to have an overview of the business. So we have to know what is a thing that allows the employees to have an overview of the business. When we talk about the overview of the business, we are talking about showing people around, giving that particular people or those particular individual people who have been selected, which is now our answer is going to be what? Induction. Our answer is going to be what? Induction. Now we move to 1.3. On 1.3, it says, choose a description from column B that matches a term in column A. Write only the letter A, G next to the question numbers 1.3.1 to 1.3.5 in the answer book, e.g. 1.3.6. In column A, we have to read everything. You have to read everything when you are going to your final examination, so that you can be familiar with the words when you are trying to do finding the correct answers or trying to match the column that are correct to the next column. Number one, on column A, we have we have a placement procedure. And then we also have quality. We have a national skills development strategy. We have horizontal diversification. We have a labor relation act. And then now when we go to column B, we have promote equal opportunities and fair treatment in the workplace, adding new unrelated products to existing products which may apply to existing customers. And then we have aims at achieving higher employment levels and reduce level of poverty. And then number D, we have determines the employee's skills by conducting psychometric tests. And then number E, we have measuring performance and taking corrective measures. And then we move to number F, we have adding new unrelated products to existing products which may apply to a new groups of customers. And then number G, we have we have determines fair assessment criteria on which selection will be based. And then we move to number H. Number H says provides for the participation of government and organized labor. And then we have number I. Number I, it says promotes workplace forum to accommodate employees in decision making. And then number J, we have measured against specific criteria such as physical appearance. So we have to know what does match placement, which is 1.3.1. Our answer is going to be number D, which is determines the employee's skills by conducting a psychometric test. That's a placement procedure. That's how they do the placement. That's how they do the recruitment in the workplace. And then we move to quality. We have to know what does match quality. Our quality is number J, which is measured against specific criteria such as physical appearance. That's quality. And then we move to national skills development strategy. We have to know what matches national skills development strategy is going to be number H, which is now our H says provides for the participation of government and organized labor. And then we move to 1.3.4. We move to 1.3.4, which is now its horizontal diversification. Our answer is going to be number B, which is adding new unrelated products to existing products which may apply to existing employees. And then now we move to 1.3.5, which is Labor Relations Act. We have to know what is 1.5 is going to be I, which is now, is do what? It promotes workplace forums to accommodate employees in decision making. So now we are done with section A. That has 30 marks. So already we have obtained 30 marks on this section. Section A, which is question 1. Now we are moving to section B. Section B, it says answer any 2 questions in this section. That means now section B has more than 2 questions. So let us hear how many questions does it have. It has question 2, which is business environments. And then it also has question 3, which is business operations. And then it also has question 4, which is miscellaneous topics, which that one is a mixture of the topics. It has business environments and business operations. So now in all, section B has 3 questions, but you are given a choice of choosing only 2 questions. So let us go straight to question 2, business environment. 2.1, it says, name 3 types of integration strategies. We have to name how many? 3 types of integration strategies. The types of integration strategies, number 1, it's a forward vertical integration. Number 2, it's a backward vertical integration. Number 3 is horizontal integration. So now, this question need only 3 answers. And then we move forward. 2.2, it says outline any 2 consumer rights as stipulated in the National Credit Act, which is NCA 2005 Act 34 of 2005. So now, on this one, you have to be much more careful. Remember, this is what business environment. When we talk about business environment, we are not talking about business operations. You forget about business operations and focus on what? Business environment when it comes to this one. So let us name or outline any 2 consumer rights as stipulated in the National Credit Act. So they need only 2 consumer right as stipulated in the National Credit Act. The number 1 that you can mention is the one that says fair and responsible marketing. You get your 2 marks. The second one, obtain reasons for credit being refused. You get your 4 marks. You are done. So they are not going to mark more than 2 of them because they said outline any 2 consumer right as stipulated in the National Credit Act. So they need only 2, but as you can see there, you can choose from those ones which you are looking at now. Receive protection of their personal information. You can also get 2 marks. Refuse a credit limit increase. You can also get your 2 marks. Apply for credit and to be free from discrimination. You can also get your 2 marks. And then remember, you only write 2 of them. I was just giving those ones for the additionally. And then 2.3, it says, read the scenario below and answer the questions that follows. Magas Computers, MC. Magas Computers buys components from IMM International, which has a slow delivery schedule. The employees of MC lack the relevant skills necessary to manufacture quality computers. MC had to borrow money from Smart Bank at a higher interest rate to improve their products. So now the question says 2.3.1, it says, quote 3 challenges of MC from the scenario above. So on this question, don't make a mistake of writing things that are not from the scenario. So right now they are saying quote 3 challenges of MC from the scenario above. So that means now all the answers, they are from the scenario. Every answer you have to get it from the scenario. The first challenge that we can quote is the one that says Magas Computers buys components from IMM International, which has slow delivery schedule. That's the first one that we can quote. And then the second, that's a challenge. Remember, we are talking about the challenges that MC has. The second challenge is the one that says the employees of MC lack relevant skills necessary to manufacture quality computers. That's also a challenge that we must quote. And then we move to the third one. MC had to borrow money from Smart Bank at a high interest rate to improve their products. That's also what a challenge that we are going to quote. So already we have 3 marks. And then now we move forward. We have to move forward now. Okay, before going forward, we have to do what? We have to know the business environment and the extent of control on these challenges that we have mentioned. The first challenge that we have mentioned of the one that says Magas Computers buys a component from IMM International, which has a slow delivery schedule. Where is that place? That's a market, because remember, this one is outside the business. We are dealing about what? People who are supplying, the suppliers of what? Of the Magas Computers. That means now it's market. On business environment, we are going to write market. We are going to write market there. And then when we go to the extent of control, how much a business or how much Magas Computers has the control when it comes to what? The market. They have what? Less control or limited control. You also get your mark for writing that. And then on the second challenge that we have quoted, we said the employees of MC lack relevant skills necessary to manufacture quality computers, which is now, when we go to business environments, it's micro. Remember, this one is within the business, so it's macro. And then now we have to know the extent of control. How much control does a business has on this one? It has a full control, because remember, this thing is happening inside the business. And then the last one that we quoted from the scenario is the one that says MC had to borrow money from Smart Bank at a high interest rate to improve their products. That's what? Macro. M-A-C-R-O. That's macro. And then now we have to know the control. Do they have? They have no control. You have to write no control, because that thing is not within their company. That thing is not in the market, but in some other business. So they do not have a control on that one. So now we have answered all of these questions that they've written. That means now we answered what? 2.3.2. We answered 2.3.3. And then the first one, which is 2.3.1. We have answered all of them. Already we have 6 marks in full. No, we don't have 6 marks. We have 9 marks already that we have, because remember, they provided us with what? With the table there where we are going to put our answers. And then now we move forward. It says explain, which is now is 2.4. Explain any 2 types of defensive strategies. We have to explain any 2 types of what? Defensive strategy. So how are we going to explain this one? We have to explain in a way of that. Remember, you have to mention that defensive strategy. Retrenchment. That's number 1. After writing retrenchment, we have to explain it. How do we explain retrenchment? We are going to say terminating the employment contract of employees for operationally reasons. We get a mark for that one. Already we have 3 marks for writing that one. And then now you have to do what? Go to another one. Liquidation. We have to explain the liquidation. For writing liquidation, you get your 2 marks, and then you give only one reason, or you explain that liquidation. So instead, you can say selling all assets to pay creditors due to lack of capital to repay creditors. You get your 3 marks, 3 marks. Already, you have 4. I mean, we have 6 marks that you have obtained in this question. So as you can see there, you can choose from any of the ones that you are seeing there. And then now we have to move forward to 2.5. It says discuss the advantages of diversification strategies. That's also 6 marks. We have to do what? You have to discuss the advantages of diversification strategies. You can say increase sales and business growth. You get your 2 marks. Improve the business brand and image. You also get your 2 marks. So on this one, we can give 3 of them. We can give 3 of them. And then you can also say reduce the risk of relying only on one product for sales or income. You also get your 2 marks. And remember, it does not mean that if you did not write what is on my note, you are not going to get a mark. But I advise all of you to use what I am showing here, because even other relevant evidence can be also credited. Now we move to 2.6. Read the scenario below and answer the questions that follows. Zanardo Wholesalers, ZW. The management of Zanardo Wholesalers sold some of their shares to their black employees. ZW outsources its service to suppliers that are BBBEE compliant. So that's a scenario that we were reading now. So we have to know, what do they exactly want on this question? And then the question says, identify 2 pillars of the broad-based Black Economic Empowerment Act, which is what BBBEE 2003 Act 53 of 2003, implemented by ZW. Motivate your answer by quoting from the scenario above. So that means now we have to what? We have to identify 2 pillars. And then we also have to do what? To motivate our answer. Number 1 is ownership. Number 1 is ownership, because they said now we are motivating or we are quoting. It's ownership because the management of Zanardo Wholesalers sold some of their shares to their black employees. That's ownership. And then the second one is enterprise and supplier development, which is ESD. So we have to do what? Support our answer or a quote from the scenario. ZW outsources its service to suppliers that are BBBEE compliant. That's what we are talking about. Now we move to 2.7. 2.7 says, advise businesses on the role of SETA in supporting the Skills Development Act, which is SDA, 1998, Act 97 of 1998. That's also 6 marks. Number 1 that we can write, remember it's split marks. If we can write 3 of them, we are correct. But if you are not sure or you feel like you can give more answers, you can give them until 6. Maximum is 6. Number 1, report to the Director General. You get the mark. Promote and establish learnerships. You get the mark. Collect levies and pay out grants as required. You also get the mark for that. Already we provided how many marks? I mean, how many answers? We provided 3. Already you have that 6 marks. The other one that we can use, register learnership agreements, programs. You also get the mark. Approve workplace skills plans and annual training reports. You also get the mark. So those are the things that you can be giving us. And then now we move to question 3. Remember, on question 2, it's 40 marks. Question 3 is 40 marks. Question 4 is 40 marks. But don't forget that you are given a choice of answering only 2 of the questions. So now, in other words, on section B, we are looking for 40 marks. So question 3, business operations. 3.1, it says list any 2 sources of external recruitment. Remember, we have internal recruitment and external recruitment. So now they are looking for the sources of external recruitment. They are not recruiting within the business, but now they are recruiting outside the business. They can use what? Recruitment agencies. You can get the right billboards. You get the mark. Electronic media such as radio, you get a mark. Printed media such as what? Newspaper, you get the mark. Networking, you get the mark. So you will give us, as you can see that there is a video whereby I was teaching about the external recruitment sources and the internal recruitment sources. If you went through my channel, you can find the easiest points that you can use when it comes to such questions. We move to 3.2. It says, outline the benefits of induction for businesses. So you have to understand what is induction, what's happening in the induction in order for you to outline the benefits of what the induction. Remember the induction, it's whereby now they are taking you to be familiarized with that working environment. They are giving you a tour of the premises. They are showing you around. They are making you go to meet the management at different levels. So let us hear what are the benefits of the induction. It allows new employees to settle in quickly and work effectively. You get your 2 marks for writing that. Remember, it's 6. The maximum, you must give 6 of them. Ensures that new employees understand the rules in the business. You get your 2 marks. New employees may establish relationship with fellow employees, resulting in good work team or teamwork. You get the mark. New employees may feel at ease or welcome in the workplace, which reduce anxiety, insecurity, or fear. The results obtained during the induction process provide a base for forced training, increases quality of performance or productive, which promotes the effective use of working methods or resources. It can also do what? Minimize or decreases the need for ongoing training and development. So remember, you only need 6. I gave you more than 6. New employees may feel part of the team, resulting in positive morale and motivation. It can also reduce the staff turnover as new employees have been inducted properly. So those are the benefits of the induction in the workplace. Now we move forward to we move forward to 3.3. It says, read the scenario below and answer the questions that follow. Bright Publishers, BP. The management of Bright Publishers terminated the employment contracts of certain workers due to restructuring. BP ensures that employees understand their roles or responsibilities. John, the supervisor, decided to resign voluntarily for better job opportunities. So the first question says, 3.3.1, quote 2 reasons for the termination of an employment contract from the scenario. Remember, once they say quote, you have to make sure that you give us something that is written in the scenario. Number 1 that we can quote is the one that says, the management of Bright Publishers terminated the employment contract of certain workers due to restructuring. They are restructuring. That means now they are starting over the structure of the business or the structure of employees who are working there. That's the first one that we can quote. As they said, we must quote from the scenario. Then number 2 that we can quote is the one that says, John, the supervisor, decided to resign voluntarily for better job opportunities. We get our 2 marks that they said we must quote there, and then we move forward. 3.3.2, it says, discuss other reasons for the termination of an employment contract. So now we have to discuss other reasons for what the termination of employment contract. So now the maximum here that you can write 4 of them in order for you to get the 4 marks. The first one that you can use, the employer may dismiss an employee for valid reasons, such as misconduct. You get the mark for writing that. The employer may retrench some employees due to insolvency or may not be able to pay the employees. You get the mark for that. Employer may no longer have work for the employees, so cannot do what? Fulfill the contract. You also get the mark. An employee may have reached the predetermined age for retirement. That's the other reason that they can terminate the employment contract. Incapacity to work due to illness or injuries. That one can also lead to the termination of the employment contract. By mutual agreement between the employer and the employee. Those are some other reasons that you can give on the on the termination of the employment contract. And then now we move to 3.4. It says already we have how many? We move to 3.4. We have 4 marks there on top. 3.4 says, explain 2 salary determination method. Remember, we have piecemeal, and time-related salary determination. So now you have to write piecemeal, you get your 2 marks, and then you start to explain it, you get a 1 mark. And then you will also write what? Time-related, and then you get your 2 marks, and then you write the explanation, you get your 1 mark. Already we have 6 marks. So now, number 1, we said what? Piecemeal. Workers are paid according to the number of items produced. You have already obtained 3 marks because you have written piecemeal and then you explained it. And then we move to time-related. Time-related, workers paid for the amount of time they spend at work. You get your 2 marks for writing time-related, and then you get your 1 mark for explaining. Guys, there is no way that you are going to fail your prelim examination. You are going to make it. You are going to make it. And then now we move forward to the one that says outline the benefits of a good quality management system. We have to outline what the benefits of good quality management system. So on this one, the maximum must be 4. You cannot write more than 4. And remember, it's the split marks. Benefits of good quality management system. Vision, mission, business goal may be achieved. You get your 2 marks for writing that. Time and resources are used efficiently. You also get your 2 marks. Already you have 4 marks. There is no need for you to write 4 of them. If you have just written that 2, I'm assuring you that you are going to get your 2 marks. Sorry. Business has a competitive advantage over its competitors. I'm just giving you for them additionally. And then now we can move forward to 3.6. When we go to 3.6, it says read the scenario below and answer the questions that follows. SolarWise manufactures, SM. SolarWise manufactures checks the quality of their solar panels to meet the required standard during and after the production process. The Chief Executive Office, CEO, of SM uses techniques and tools to improve the quality of their product. Identify 2 quality concepts that are applicable to SM. Motivate your answer by quoting from the scenario above. Use the table below as a guide to answer 3.6. So we have to do what? We have to know the quality concept that they are using. So on this one, the answers, they are there. It's quality assurance. It's quality assurance because they are there during and after the production. That's quality assurance. And then let us motivate or quote from the scenario. SolarWise manufacturers check the quality of their solar panels to meet the required standards during and after the production process. And then number 2, it's quality management. The Chief Executive Officer, which is CEO of SM, uses techniques and tools to improve the quality of their products. We have already obtained our 6 marks for writing only those things. And then we move forward to 3.7. 3.7 says, discuss the impact of total quality management, which is TQM, if poorly implemented by businesses. This question always give learners a challenge. I don't know how, but today I believe that you are going to master it. Decline in productivity because of stoppage. You get your 2 marks for writing that. Setting unrealistic deadlines that may not be achieved. You also get your 2 marks for writing that. So there is no need of writing 4 of them. If you wrote those 2 points that I have gave you now, you have already obtained your 4 marks. But for in additionally, let me just give you the few ones. Investors may withdraw investment if there is a deadline or a decline in profits. High staff turnover because of poor skills development. Those are the answers that you can be giving. Businesses may not be able to make necessary changes of products or service to satisfy the needs of customers. Employees may not be adequately trained, resulting in poor quality products. And then we move to 3.8. 3.8, it says, advise businesses on the quality indicators of the financial function. They must do what? They must accurately analyze and interpret financial information. You get your 2 marks for writing that. Analyze strategies to increase profitability. You get your 2 marks for writing that. They must also do what? They must obtain capital from the most suitable or reliable sources. Negotiate better interest rate in order to keep financial costs down. They must also draw up budgets to ensure sufficient application of monetary resources. They can also do what? Keep financial records up to date to ensure timely or accurate tax pays or payments. They can also do what? They can also invest in strategies that will assist the business to remain profitability or profitable. Those are the answers that you can be giving, whereby now you are advising the business on quality indicators of the financial function. So now we move to question 4. So on question 4, it's a miscellaneous topics, which is the mixture of business environments and business operations. So the first question says, outline the rights of employees in terms of the Labor Relations Act, LRA 1995 Act 66 of 1995. We have to outline what the rights of employees in the terms of what the Labor Relations Act, which is 6 marks. So the maximum, it must be 6. But if you know them very well, if you can give 3, you can get your 6 marks because it's the split marks. Number 1, you can say employees may join a trade union of their choice. Employees may embark on legal strikes as a random for grievances. That's also correct. Already we have obtained 4 marks. Refer unresolved workplace dispute to what? To the CCMA. Already you have your 6 marks. Refer unresolved CCMA disputes to the Labor Court on appeal. So that's an additional one. Or the other one that you can give is the one that says, request trade union representatives to assist or represent employees in the grievances or disciplinary hearing. Those are the answers that you can give. Remember, this is 6 marks. This is 6 marks. And then now we move to 4.2. It says, read the scenario below and answer the questions that follows. Mohammed Builders, MB. Mohammed Builders follows safety measures so that they are protected from financial burden. Should an accident occur in the workplace? And then 4.2.1, it says, identify the act that is applicable to the scenario above. We have to identify what the act that is applicable above. That's what Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Diseases Act, which is CODIO. Remember, when the employees, they get injured in the workplace, they had to be what? Compensated. They must be compensated or they must be paid. So now, the act that is applied there by Mohammed Builders, it's a Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Diseases Act, which is CODIO. You get 2 marks for writing the act. And then 4.2.2, it says, discuss the advantages of the act identified in question 4.2.1. We have to identify what the advantages. So now we have to know what are the advantages of what? Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Diseases Act. It promotes safety in the workplace. That's the first advantage. So we need only 4 of them if you are not sure. But if you wrote promote safety in the workplace, you get your 2 marks. So that means now the way I'm giving you these points, even though you can write 2, you have already obtained your marks. Your marks. Employees do not contribute towards this fund. That's an advantage. Claiming processes are relevantly simple. They are very simple. Those are the answers that you can be promoting. I mean, that you can be giving us. Supply administrative guidelines for dealing with claims. So those are the answers that you can be giving us. As you can see on your screen, that there are so many, you can choose which ones do you feel like they are much more easy for you. And then we move to 4.3. It says, explain how businesses could apply the following force of the Posters 5 force model to analyze their position in the market environment. 4.3.1, power of competitors or competitive rivalry. How can they apply it? Number 1, competitors selling the same or similar products may have a greater impact on the market of the business. Number 2, that we can write. We need, this is 4 marks. So if you can write the entire point that I have gave you now, you have already obtained 2 marks. If competitors have an anchor service or product, then they will have greater power. A business with many competitors in the same market has very little power in its market or industry. So those are the answers that you can be providing to us. Competitors using various pricing and marketing strategies are likely to have power over the business. Remember, it was only 4 marks, so I gave you a lot of them. And then now we move to 4.3.2. Threat of a subnistation. Number 1 that you can use, remember, don't forget that it's only 4 marks. Business product that can be easily substituted. Weakens the power of the business in the market. Number 2, establish whether the sellers or a substitute product have improved their product at lower price. Businesses selling anchor products will not be threatened by substitute products. Those are the answers that you can give. And remember, if you did not write what I gave you now, even some other relevant evidence on this question that I'm just giving you on the 4.3.2 is going to be predicted. And then we move forward to 4.4, which is now we are leaving a business environment. We are now going toward business operation. Don't forget that one. 4.4, name any 2 assets that should be included in an employment contract. What are the assets that should be included in an employment contract? Number 1, personal details of the employee must be included. A job title or job position must be included. You have already obtained your 2 marks. A job description, such as what duties and working condition must be included. So there are so many here. There are so many that you can choose from. Hours of work, such as normal time and overtime, must be included. Remuneration, which is a salary remuneration, such as work weekly or a monthly payment. Benefits must be included in an employment contract. So now we move forward to 4.5. It says, read the scenario below and answer the questions that follow. Iconic Enterprises, i.e., Iconic Enterprises advertised a vacancy for an administrator in the local newspaper. The human resource manager sorted the application documents according to the selection criteria. Specific responsibilities of the new position were outlined. The manager invited the shortlisted candidates to attend the interview. And then now the question says, quote 2 aspects of the selection procedure that IE applied in the scenario. So we have to quote how many? 2 of them. Number 1 is the one that says, the HR manager shorted the application documents according to the selection criteria. Number 2, the manager invited the shortlisted candidate to attend the interview. We have already obtained our 2 marks there. We move forward. It says, explain the role of the interviewer during the interview. Remember, there is an interviewer and interviewee. So don't mishear those things. You must be able to differentiate between those two things. So the interviewer is the person that is going to be asking questions. But the interviewee is a person who is the applicant of the job. And then let us hear what is the role of the interviewer during the interview. It allocates the same amount of time to each candidate. You get your 2 marks for writing that. Remember, this is 6 marks. Introduce members of the interviewing panel to each candidate or interviewee. Make the interviewee feel at ease. Explain the purpose of the interview to the panel and the interviewee. It must also close the interview by thanking the interviewee for attending the interview. It must also avoid discriminatory types of questions. And it must not mislead the interviewee. That's the role of what the interviewer during the during the interview. And then we move forward. Discuss the roles of quality cycles as part of continuous improvement of processes and systems. That's 4 marks. Solve problems related to quality and implement improvements. You get your 2 marks for writing that. Investigate problems and suggest solutions to management. You also get your 2 marks for writing that. Reduce cost, efforts in the long run. You also get your 2 marks for writing that. Improve employees' communication at all levels of the business. You also get your 2 marks for writing that. Increase employees' morale and motivation. You get your 2 marks for writing that again. So we only need 4 marks. This is 4 marks. And then we move to the last one on section B. Advise businesses on the advantages of continuous skills development as TQM elements on large businesses. Large businesses have a human resource department dedicated to skills, training, and development. You get your 2 marks for writing that. Human resource expert ensures that training programs are relevant to increase customer satisfaction. You get your 2 marks for writing that. Ability to afford specialized or trained employees. You get your 2 marks for writing that. May be able to hire qualified trainees to train employees on a regular basis. You get your 2 marks for writing that. So maximum is 6. Maximum is going to be what? 6. And then now we move to section C. So on section C, what we have to know is that section C is the last section when it comes to business studies. Section C has question 5 and question 6. Those are the 2 essays, but you have to write one of them. So you have to write one of the following questions, which is question 5 and question 6. So this is how it is. If you watched my previous videos, I am totally sure that you know how to write the business essay or how is it structured. So it reads as it follows. Question 5, business environments, which is business strategies. And then they gave us a scenario that we have to read. It says successful businesses develop and evaluate suitable strategies to deal with identified challenges in the business environments. So now, when you read this scenario as the business studies student, you must be able to know which topic are they talking about, as they stated that this is at the what? At the business environment. And you must be also be aware or know what are they going to ask. Many businesses use intensive strategies to improve the performance of existing products in the market. They also apply the pestle factors to identify challenges in the macro environment and find ways to deal with these challenges. And then the question says, write an essay on business strategies in which you include the following accept. So we have to know what are these accept. Number 1 is what? Outline the steps in strategy evaluation. The second one, explain the advantages of intensive strategies. The third one, it says, discuss the following pestle factors pose challenges to businesses, which is what? Technologically, economically, and legally. And then the last point or the last question, they say, recommend ways in which businesses can deal with the challenges posed by the pestle factors above. So remember, when you are writing your introduction, you don't answer the first bullet point that they say outline the steps in strategy evaluation. You do not answer that one. You must come up with your own things that you are going to write in an introduction. But now what you will be writing, it must be related to business strategies. For instance, okay, fine, you will write your introduction there on top. After writing your introduction, let me just give you, remember the introduction, it goes with 2 bullet points. So now the introduction, you must write 2 bullet points, which is now, it is total, it's 2 marks. The effectiveness of business strategies must be evaluated so that the best strategies are used to overcome challenges. Let me repeat it. The effectiveness of business strategies must be evaluated so that best strategies are used to overcome challenges. That's the first one that you can write. And then the second one, it says, intensive strategies enable businesses to remain sustainable in the market environment. Just for you to write those 2 points already, you have already earned 2 marks. In your final examination, you are going to remember me. The pestle analyze factors such as the technologically, economically, and legal factors enable businesses to understand how external factors affect their operations. And then the last point that I can give you, so you'll have to choose 2 that you feel like they are much more better than these ones that I gave you. A pestle analysis allows a strategic and systematically evaluation of businesses, prospects, risk, and opportunities in a new environment. So now we have to move to our board. Remember, I was giving you the point that you can include if they will ask you such a question in your introduction. So now we go to the first answer, or the first question that they've written there. As they say, outline the steps in strategy evaluation. So we have to outline the steps in strategy. So in this one, you can write 10 points if you feel like you are not sure of your answers. But if you are sure, you just have to write how many? 5 of them, because it will be out of 10 marks. Remember, business studies, it goes with what? Split marks. The first one that you can write is the one that says examine the underlying basis of a business strategy. The second one, look forward and backward in the implementation process. The third one, compare the expected performance with the actual performance. The fourth one, determine the reasons for deviation and analyze these reasons. And then number 5, if I'm not mistaken, number 5, it says take corrective action so that deviations may be corrected. And then the number 6 one, it says set specific dates for control and follow up. Draw up a table of the advantages and disadvantages of a strategy. Those are the points that you can be including. And then now we move forward to our next answer. Remember, now we have already obtained 12 points or 12 marks in your essay. And then we move to the second question. The second question, it says, explain the advantages of intensive strategies. We have to know what are the advantages of intensive strategies. It increases sales due to variety of advertising campaigns. We get your 2 marks there. Regular sales to existing customers may increase. You also get your 2 marks there, which is this one. The maximum is 12. You can write 12 points if you feel like you are not sure about your answers. But if you are sure that you wrote everything in full, you are only going to write only 6 points. Gain customer loyalty through effective promotion campaigns. Improved service delivery may positively impact the sales. Eliminate competitors and donate market price. You also get your 2 marks. Decrease in price could influence customers to buy more products. Business can have more control over the price of production service. And then these are the things that we'll be talking about. So now let's move forward to the next question. It says, discuss how the following pistol factors pose challenges to the business. We will start with what? Technologically. Technologically, you can write 4 of them. If you feel like you are not sure, you can write 4 of them. But if you feel like you are sure, you can just give 2. Give 2 in technologically, give 2 in economically, give 2 in legal. And then it says, businesses may not keep up with of the latest technology. You get your 2 marks for writing that. Employees may not be skilled to operate or maintain new technology. You have to get the 2 marks for that. You have already got 4 marks. Businesses may not be able to afford new technology. You get your 2 marks. Remember, these are the challenges that we have to look at with pistol factors. The first one is technology. What is a challenge that you can face? Like, you must apply your general knowledge on this one. So businesses may not be able to cater access to online transactions. And then we move to economical. We have to know what are the challenges that the business face when it comes to economical. High inflation or interest rates may negatively impact businesses or decrease the market share of the business, as customers cannot afford high prices. Increase in tax, reducing consumer spending. The other one, loan may be expensive because of high rate or high interest rates. Fluctuation in foreign currency may restrict imports. And then the last one that we can put, decreases in foreign direct investment by important foreign investors. Remember, I said you can write 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. You get your full 12 marks. Legal requirements for operation. This is legal. Legal requirements for operating certain types of businesses are time consuming. You get your 2 marks. High legal cost involved in obtaining a license may prevent the establishment of some businesses. You get your 2 marks. Certain acts may have a direct impact on business operation, such as EEA and BCEA. Legalities of businesses contracts may limit business operations. You can also get your 2 marks for writing that. Already in this question, we have how many marks? We have 12 marks. And then now we move forward to the last one. The one that says, recommend ways in which business can deal with the challenges posed by the pistol factors above. Okay. Number 1 is technological. Number 2 is going to be economical. Number 3 is going to be what? Legal. So we'll start with technologically. It simply says, continuous research on the latest available technology or equipment in the market. You get your mark for writing that. Remember, even here you can provide only 2 marks. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. Business should train existing or appoint new employees to maintain new equipment. Select suitable suppliers for new equipment at reasonable price. Businesses must be geared for online trading. You get your mark for writing that. And then we move to what? Remember, here we are recommending ways in which businesses can deal with these challenges. We go to what? Legally. Comply with all relevant legislation. No, before legally, let us go to what? Economic. Borrow money from financial institution when interest rates are favorable. That's the first point. You get your 2 marks. Negotiate payment terms with suppliers. Negotiate favorable interest rates with creditors. Consider exchange rates when trading with other countries. And then we move to the last one. It says on the legal one, comply with all relevant legislation that may impact businesses. Budget for high legal establishment or startup cost. Comply with the legal requirements for operating businesses. For example, license, trade market, registration or patents. And then remember, even the conclusion, it's not there. You have to create your own conclusion. We must see that now you are doing what? The conclusion. You are writing the conclusion. The conclusion says, strategy evaluation enables businesses to assess how well a chosen strategy has been implemented and measures the business performance, you get your 2 marks for writing that. Intensive strategies enable businesses to offer better product or service and dominate the market. You also get your 2 marks for writing that. So that's how you will be writing your essay. That's how you will be writing your essay. And then now we move to question 6, which is business operation under human resource function. Already in that essay, we have obtained 40 marks. We have obtained 40 marks, and then now, as I say, that we are going to business operations, human resource function. Here's the scenario that we have to read. Many businesses follow the correct recruitment procedure to find suitable and qualified employees. Businesses comply a job analysis to determine competency required for the job. They also offer attractive fringe benefits as additionally to employees' remuneration. The name remuneration stands for salary. The management of the human resource function should be mindful of the implication of the Employment Equity Act, which is EEA, 1998, Act 55 of 1998, when making what the appointment. And then the question says, write an essay on the human resource function in which you include the following excerpt. Remember, we have to write our introduction on our own. So in our introduction, we are going to write businesses follow the recruitment procedure to attract and find potential resources for filling up a vacant position in the business. You get a mark for writing that. And then remember, the introduction has how many points? 2 points. The second point, we can write job analysis enables the human resource manager to identify the content of a job in terms of the activities involved in addition to the requirement necessary to perform those activities. You also get your mark, and then already we have obtained 2 marks. And then we go to the body now. We have to know what does the first question says. It says outline the recruitment procedure as a human resource activity. What are those recruitment procedure that we have to do? What we have to outline here is that the human resource manager should evaluate the job or prepare a job analysis that include the job specification or job description to identify the recruitment need. You get a mark for writing that. If the internal recruitment is unsuccessful, the external recruitment should be considered. You get a mark for writing that. And then the other one, choose the method of recruitment, such as internally or externally, to reach the target. Suitable applicants or candidates, you get a mark for writing that. Remember, here you can write 5 if you are not going to write these things in full. But if you are going to write them in full, 5 is okay. And please try to write anything that comes in your mind that you think is the correct answer. Please write it. Don't make our job easy when we are in the marking center there. I feel a pain if I will find a student who skipped questions, who did not answer those questions. You are making our job easy. We must be paid for something that we worked for. So you have to write. And then we move forward to the next question. It says, explain the two components of the job analysis. When we talk about the job analysis, remember, we are talking about what? The job description and job specification. So we have to explain them. How do we explain them? For you to write job description, already you have obtained 2 marks. And then the explanation, it has what? It has 4 marks. The explanation, it has 4 marks. So on the explanation, you can write 4 of them if you did not write your answers in full. But if you write them in full, even though you can write 2, it's fine. It says it describes the duties, responsibilities of a specific job. You get your 2 marks for writing that. Written description of the job and requires of the nature or type of the job. You also get a mark for writing that. Describes key performance areas for a specific job, such as job title or working conditions. You get a mark for writing that. And if you did not write what I have told you now, maybe you went back to my notes that I taught you, you are also going to get marks for that. And then the second one I said is what? Job specification. Describes the minimum acceptable personal qualifications needed for that job. You get the mark for writing that. Written description of specific qualifications needed for the job. You also get the mark for writing that. Describes key requirements for the person who will fill the position, such as formal qualifications. You also get the mark for writing that. And then we move forward. Discuss the impact of fringe benefits on businesses. Remember, we have compulsory benefits and the fringe benefits. So now we want what? The benefits of fringe benefits. Remember, you can choose whether you want to write the positive, whether you want to write both of them. If you don't know which one does this falls in, don't write positive. Just write the impact of fringe benefits and then mix them. Write the positives and the negative, write the positives and the negative in the same place. As long as you did not state that these are the positive, you just have to write the impact of fringe benefits and write them. You can write even 12. Attract fringe benefit packages may result in a higher employee retention. That's the positive one. Attract qualified employees who may positively contribute towards the business goals. You also get a mark for that, which is 2 marks already. We have 4 marks. Improve productivity, resulting in a high profitability. You also get your 2 marks for writing that. Businesses save money as benefits are tax deductible. You also get a money for you also get a mark for writing that. Fringe benefits can be used as leverage for salary negotiations. You also get a mark for writing that. And then when we go to the negatives, businesses which cannot offer fringe benefits fails to attract skilled employees. Number 2, businesses which offer employees different benefits plans may create resignment to those who receive less benefit, resulting in low productivity. It can create conflict or lead to corruption if allocated unfairly. Fringe benefits are additional costs that may result in cash flow problems. Workers only stay with the business for fringe benefits and may not be committed. You get the mark. Those are the negatives. Remember, the negatives are the opposite of the positives. And then we move to the last question, where it says, advise the management of the human resource function on the implications of the Employment Equity Act on their operations. We are now advising we are advising what the business on the implications of the Employment Equity Act on the human resource function. So here, if you don't trust yourself that you wrote everything in full, you can write 12 of them, 12 points. So it says, ensure that employees are paid equally for work of equal value. Number 2, ensure that affirmative action promotes diversity in the workplace. The other one that you can write is that display a summary of the act where employees can clearly see it and have access to it. The other one, report to the Department of Labor on the progress in the implementation of the Employment Equity Act. In the implementation of the equity plan. Conduct medical or psychological tests fairly to employees. You also get the mark for writing that. So that's how you will be writing your essay. I wish you all the best. This was a prelim examination, and what I am telling you, you are going to get it in your final examination. And then now let's move to conclusion. Don't forget to write the conclusion, because the conclusion, you create it on your own. It says, employees are the most important resource in any business, and its success is strongly influenced by a good recruitment process. A procedure. Let me repeat these points. Employees are the most important resource in any business, and its success is strongly influenced by a good recruitment procedure. The goal and the objectives of businesses cannot be achieved without qualified and skilled employees. You also get your 2 marks for that. A job analysis assists businesses in identifying the details of the vacancy of the candidate. You also get a mark for that. Employees feel valued if they are provided excellent benefits packages and work hard towards achieving business goals. So that's how you'll be writing your final examination. You are not going to regret if you watched this video. And please, if you get time, watch it again. The more you watch it is the more you understand it, is the more you become familiar with business studies, is the more you become familiar on answering the questions on business studies. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I thank you.